You're listening to Heroes in the Moment.
What's up, heroes? I'm Michael.
And I'm Nathan.
Today, latest superhero news 6.
Part 6,
Part
baby.
6.
Woo.
It's hard to believe. It's been 6 weeks since we started these podcasts.
Over a month. I'm glad we did it.
I'm so glad we did it. We don't get to talk about a lot of news, but now we do. Sorry we've been neglecting that.
Sorry. Nothing
sorry.
personal.
Nothing.
We still love you guys.
We do, very
Thanks
much. We
for
appreciate the support. All right, so first piece of news to talk about, and that being, and it's a very important thing because, of course, after what we heard last week, and that being Ezra Miller's apology.
Yeah, this was huge. I just came across this the other day on Instagram, read the whole freaking apology, and it sounded, pretty good.
Yeah, it did. And of course, this coming from Warner Brothers' ultimatum that they gave Ezra, with the 3 points. First being, if Ezra Miller gets professional help and explains behavior, film is released with limited press. This seems to be the option that's going to happen now.
The best course of action, I'd say, right now.
Yes, definitely. And then, of course, the second one was, if they don't get help, the film could still be released with minimal publicity from them, and they'll be recast for future films. I still like that option.
Yeah, and we already know that Ezra is definitely going to be recast. You know, we're hoping that with the new 10-year plan that, just someone else new comes in and blows us away.
Right, exactly it. And of course, the third one would be the film gets completely scrapped, which I'd still love to see a Flash film. Being a Flash fan, I want to see it in theaters, and we've never gotten a Flash movie, so I'm hoping for that in the future, but who knows?
I'm just... sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say, I'm just glad that Ezra is getting help. That's heartwarming, man. I know that, Ezra has... done some bad things recently, and I know that Ezra is not, completely well, so I'm glad to see that they're getting some help.
Yes,
so.
I'm very glad to see that. All right, so to move on to our next piece of news, we're super excited to go over, and that being some casting rumors we got to talk about. We got some Marvel stuff, some DC stuff, and a little bit in between with that. So that's exciting to talk about.
Okay.
So first, right off the back with Marvel, there is a casting rumor. You sent this to me. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Of course, Henry Cavill's being casted in apparently every single role in the MCU at this point.
It was Hercules and it wasn't, and then it was who was it after that?
It was Hercules.
There's something before Mr.
Fantastic Four.
Mr. Fantastic.
Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom, yeah.
And then there was a Captain Britain.
Captain Britain, yeah, was what I was thinking about.
And then now we're getting a possibility of him being in Loki Season 2 as Hyperion, the Superman version in Marvel.
Yeah, we'll see. This rumor, I don't know if it holds any credibility, coming from the fact, but I saw multiple sources on Instagram that were verified that were saying, rumors showing, appearance Loki Season 2 as Hyperion. And that honestly, does kind of make sense. I would like to see that introduction of the character. I think Henry Cavill would kill it. Normally, I do think that's a better fit than, say, a Fantastic, Mr. Fantastic.
Right. I mean, I love Henry Cavill. I love Henry Cavill, and I really want to see him in the MCU. But I just don't want them to continuously cast him in every single role from this point on until he gets cast.
He plays every single character.
He's everybody. Kevin Feige's like, here you go, you asked.
You have like you have a Fantastic Four movie versus Doom, and on the poster of the movie, just Henry Cavill staring at Henry Cavill in a different suit.
Everybody,
yes, Henry Cavill.
Please, we need that. So that's funny. All right, some more information. So Mark Ruffalo, being Mark Ruffalo, has been giving us some leaked information about the future of the MCU. Of course.
The homie's still alive. All I'm going to say is that Kevin Feige has amazing plans for him, else he wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
But Mark, he's always been like that. He's he's in his 60s. He doesn't care as much. No. He's well off.
Yep. All right, so the first piece of news is about Avengers Secret Wars, and Mark Ruffalo says that Avengers Secret Wars will be bigger than Endgame. So obviously this confirms that he's going to be in this movie. Yeah. So which is great to hear.
I do wonder if he's just saying that to hype the movie up, which, I mean, I don't think so, because, we don't have any really details about it yet. But yeah, yes, from the comics, we know that the scale, is obviously bigger. You get all the heroes, all the villains, they battle, whoever wins gets what they want.
Right.
Obviously, that'll be hard to play out in live action. But yeah, that shouldn't be too surprising. Where it gets kind of caught up is that there's a 10-year, build up to Endgame, right?
Right. But I think they can pull it off with the whole multiversal effect and everything going on. And I'm super excited. I think Secret Wars will end up being bigger just because the scale is going to be more characters. So I think it, bigger and better are two different words.
Yeah.
So
Very true.
I think it definitely will
Unless
be
you're
bigger.
in Texas.
But but better. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully it will be.
I just want to see Spider-Man in the black suit, man.
I can't wait for that.
That was
Obviously,
the first appearance in the comics.
It was already teased in No Way Home, so we're obviously already setting that
That'd be
up. So I'm
cool,
excited
dude.
for that. All right. So next up, Mark Ruffalo again. Also,
again,
also revealed She-Hulk will join the Avengers, and that there's not going to be another Avengers without her, which makes sense. I mean, obviously she's going to join the team.
I think first and foremost, I do think that we need to shelter Mark Ruffalo. I think we need to get him, some safety, you know, for the next couple years.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of till it dies down. As far as I know, we haven't had any of the Phase 4 characters been confirmed as Avengers.
No,
right?
No. Well,
Right,
Shang-Chi was the
Shang-Chi,
closest, just
we've
because
had Kate Bishop, Yelena.
Wong brought them into a conversation with Captain Marvel and Bruce.
But we never heard
that's
a name drop. We never saw them function as a team.
No.
Mark Ruffalo's like, by the way, she's going to be with us.
She's going to be an Avenger.
Cool.
Which makes sense because at this point in the She-Hulk series, which is pretty good so far, by the way, check it out. Check out our recent podcast on that.
Check it out.
That just came out on Saturday, so check it out. We broke that down. But yeah, in the She-Hulk series, she doesn't want to be a superhero at this point. But of course, I think it's going to be about her finding that route and wanting to be a hero. So, of course, it makes sense that we'll see her in an Avengers film, hopefully in the future. And, of course, it being Secret Wars, anybody in the MCU is going to be in it.
I wonder how that would look, having two Hulks run around.
Well, obviously, we've already had one Hulk. Might as well add another one. Plus a million other characters.
Plus another Hulk, maybe.
Ooh.
And then eventually 2 other Hulks can get together, have a baby Hulk.
Oh.
Then we can call him Baby Hulk.
That's a genius
Think about
name.
it.
I
Like
think
Baby
that's great.
Yoda, but Baby Hulk.
Everybody would flip
And he just
out.
kills people whenever he just rips them apart.
Completely different than Grogu. Disappointing. All right, so next up, Mark Ruffalo again says he is down for, this is great news. This is probably my favorite news to talk about, is that Mark Ruffalo says he's down for a World War Hulk movie. Plus, Marvel Studios is rumored to acquire the Hulk solo movie rights in 2023 from Universal Studios.
Obviously, something like that wouldn't be possible without that acquisition first, right?
For sure.
They've held that since the early 2000s, right? When Marvel was going bankrupt and they had to sell it.
Yeah, sell all their characters to different studios. Yeah.
I mean, essentially in Ragnarok, he was like a main side character. You know, they just can't give him his own quote unquote solo feature film.
Right.
But dude, 2023. I don't know if they've already worked out a deal or not, but that movie would go so hard.
It would be
give him his own
needed.
solo movie
Because
lead up to a Wolverine versus Hulk.
Oh, it'd be beautiful. Because in my opinion, Hulk is a character that is deserving of his own trilogy that he never got. Because he's an original Avenger. He's a huge character. He's, of course, you have the Marvel Trinity being, Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. But Hulk is equally as much a part of that as them three.
Thor is, I mean, for sure.
He's huge in the MCU, and he's such a huge character. In the comics, he's massive. He's a massive character in the comics. He's so powerful. One of the most powerful Marvel characters ever. And I want to see that. And I want to see him completely blow up. I would love that. And I would love that movie. And I'm sure everybody else would as well.
Dude, that movie, I could guarantee if it was just straight action would break the box office,
for
man.
Sure.
Like we said, we've seen Angry Hulk, in 2 or 3 movies. We've seen some really angsty Bruce Banner, but I really just want to explore the man behind, the monster, the scientist. We never got to see an origin story with Mark Ruffalo, and that pains me. We got our own one with Norton, right?
Norton. And it wasn't that great.
It wasn't that great.
The action was good, but
the transition was just weird into the first Avengers movie with the new actors.
And it would be nice for Mark Ruffalo has literally never had his own movie or thing in the MCU.
He deserves it.
He deserves it.
Out of everyone right now, he deserves it.
He definitely deserves it.
Come on, Marvel.
Hope we get it. All right, so we'll see. All right, so next up, we got to talk about moving on to not just DC news, but DC and Marvel news, surprisingly enough. So this is coming from Dwayne Johnson, so of course, take it with a grain of salt. But he says they can not only exist talking about the MCU and DCEU, but they should, in my mind, cross paths one day. This bringing up the theory of the multiverse. Of course, if it's a multiverse, obviously DC and Marvel do coexist in some way. Through multiverse in different worlds.
Yeah, they. Was it Eternals references? Was it Superman? Right.
Right. Well, in the comic multiverse, it is actually true that Earth 1 is home to DC and Earth
616
is home to Marvel.
Yeah, and especially with all the multiverse stuff going on. We say America Chavez gonna punch a hole to number 1.
Right.
Freaking Batman comes out.
Dude,
and
how crazy
and
would that
fights.
How crazy.
I don't know,
It's happened in the
that'd be
comics
dope.
before. It's
Yeah.
happened in the comics before that Justice League fought the Avengers, and of course, it was a great fight. Superman fought Hulk. Flash fought Quicksilver. I'll give you 2 guesses who won that.
Biased.
Wonder Woman actually fights Thor and
fights
beats
Thor.
him. And yeah. And Iron Man, I think he fights Batman, but I can't remember exactly what happens. But those I know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's cool, and I would love to see that. That movie would make that. I think that would be the first movie ever to make $3 billion because everybody's going to be watching that movie.
I definitely do think minimum, it would be top 5. Like absolute minimum. It would be top 5. I mean,
minimum.
Because first of all,
even if it's bad,
it just has. Even if it just has a basic plot and character development, just seeing the characters be pitted against each other, even though it might not be for a good reason
movie.
why you'd be pulling people from both sides together. I think that would be enthralling. I think they would have to wait a long time, like a really long time. And I'm saying like a long time as in they don't know what else to do. It kind of seems like the case,
I'm thinking long time as in like 20 years plus.
20, 30 years.
I mean, that's how crazy it is when I'm old. I don't like
we'll
that.
We'll come back when we're like freaking 50 and
we're breaking that down.
We're like, dude, so how did Ant-Man
how did them old whippersnappers come together in the multiverse? We don't understand that.
Dude, I just thought of it, man. It's literally going to be Morbius, bro.
Morbius is going to bring the 2 universes together.
Or Morbius separates himself from Marvel, creates his own universe, and solos both DC and Marvel.
It could be called
Think about that.
Morbius. DC versus Marvel. It's Morbin time.
Ooh.
Beautiful.
Morbius.
It's going to make $1 trillion. More $1 trillion.
DCEU, MCU, parentheses. It's Morbin time, parentheses. It's Morbin time.
My mouth is wide open because I'm in such shock by the beautifulness of what that was.
Imagine, and wait, here's a kicker. The cameo, the major cameo, Paul Rudd. But so there's gonna be Ant-Man fighting right for the Marvel team, and also Paul Rudd fighting with the Morbius. Yeah.
It's the Paul Rudd and Morbius cinematic multiverse.
Ooh, the
Folks,
Morbinverse.
I don't think we can go any further because that is the deepest, most philosophical thing we could have. That needs to be taught in American literature in schools.
That's going on to history.
It's going in the history
public
books
system forever, man.
I'll be teaching it. It's a fact, sealed, signed, delivered.
The most impactful moment of our lives.
Dude,
I'm literally like tearing up thinking about it.
So
I wish y'all could
emotional.
see me right now.
It is
but
so late right now. I'm so emotional.
I know it is later.
It's crazy.
Hey, listen, we're on this grind for y'all.
We're on it for y'all and Morbius and Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd, if you're listening, just know that I love you and that you're the sexiest man alive, and I will never fail to bring that up.
Yeah, you echo all of our thoughts and beliefs.
Any excuse to bring up Paul Rudd or Ryan Reynolds. Love him too.
What's happening, bro?
So much.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed this episode, let us know by giving us a review and a download. Here's in the Moment is available on all major podcast platforms. That's your Spotify, that's Apple Podcasts, that's Deezer, that's Google Podcasts, that's Amazon Music. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, we're on there. So go ahead, check us out. We can see when y'all download, and we can see like kind of what content y'all like. So let us know by that download, and we'll continue to produce that stuff y'all like.
All
so
the love, we definitely
thank
appreciate
you
it.
definitely for that support. We don't take it for granted, and just thank you guys once again. As far as our next episode, that would be She-Hulk episode 2 breakdown coming out Saturday.
Yeah, so She-Hulk will be coming out weekly Saturdays because I think it is coming out on Thursdays now.
Officially all Thursdays.
I'm pretty sure.
All
so
right.
it's gonna be Saturdays, and of course the latest superhero news on Tuesdays.
Tuesdays are all right. We can roll with that, baby.
We chilling. All right, we just want to thank y'all for listening, and as always, we love you 3000.